everybody, Gary here with Pow Music. I hope you enjoyed that playthrough of Valerie by Amy Winehouse as performed on the Live at BBC version released on the deluxe edition of Back to Black in 2007, featuring the great rhythm guitar work of Robin Banerjee. So we're about to get into the lesson segment, but it kind of picks up in the middle of nowhere because this is actually an excerpt of a larger lesson on 8 classic 7th chord progressions. So if you want to see that full compilation video, links in the description. And if you want to download the tab to go along with this song and all those songs, that's on my Patreon page, also linked in the description. All right, let's get into the lesson. Okay, so let's start off with Valerie. So this song is in the key of E flat major. And we start with this E flat major 7 chord, the 1 chord, in the A shape. And what I mean by in the A shape is if we follow the cage system relates everything back to the basic open chord shape. So if we play an open A major 7, it looks like this. And then if we slide that up, there's our A shape E flat major 7. Right, and you can see the intervals there. Root, 5th, major 7th, major 3rd, 5th. Then we go to the 2 chord, F minor 7, in the A minor shape. Right, these chords with an A string root that then go to the right are the A shapes. There we go. And this one is root, 5th, flat 7, flat 3rd, 5th. And then that's the main vamp, is just going from the 1 chord to the 2 chord. And as far as technique, I am just trying to create a groove. You know, I'm thinking of a drum groove. Boom, chicka cha, ka-dong, ka-dong, cha, chicka-dong, chicka cha. And the way that I create that groove is by controlling when the chord rings out and when it's percussive. So it's percussive if I go like this. If I just lift the pressure off the chord, but mute out the strings, I'm not taking them off, they're not leaving their place. And then if I press down, right? So it's all about keeping this kind of 16th note groove in the right hand. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a... And then just creating rhythms. Da da ga da 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 da. Da 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 da. And notice how my hand never stops just doing this 16th note. It's just constant, never stops. Sometimes I skip over the strings, so there's gaps where there's nothing happening, but mostly I'm hitting them, and sometimes I'm hitting them hard, and sometimes soft. Mostly going hard on 2 and 4. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Because that's where the snare hits. Boom, boom, ga, ga-doom, ga, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. And also mixing high and low strings. So low, high, 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 low, high, 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 high. Or low, high, low, low, high, low, high, 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 low. You know, those are the kinds of things you could do to vary it. So volume, low strings, high strings, muting the strings, letting it ring out. So the way that I played this is based on Amy Winehouse's kind of B-side release of Valerie. So not the original album recording, but there was a second release that was more of a stripped down version, and it's her and electric guitar, might be a couple other instruments. And I basically just transcribed what that electric guitar player was doing. Not exactly, but almost exactly. So once you feel comfortable with that, then maybe you want to add in that little intro, which was that. And basically that's just getting comfortable doing double stops within this main pentatonic shape. So we're in this E flat major pentatonic pattern 1, which is the same as C minor pentatonic. They're the relative major and minor. it's just this playing two notes that you're barring on this 8th fret. So I'm playing the A string and the D string, but then I'm hammering on the A, but still the D rings out. So I don't want to mute that D. And then I could just work my way down these string pairs, you know. So you want to practice just doing that through the pentatonic scale. You know, hold down the bar, hit two or three strings at a time, and then on one of the strings, hit the whatever note is next on that string in the pentatonic scale, but don't mute out the adjacent strings. Let them ring out. And then to give it that really kind of Hendrixy vibe, we do these kind of flams. I call them flams, where, because a drum flam is when you go, you know, two notes really fast. And when a singer sings, they usually go la, you know, it's like a quick come up to the note. So we could do that on guitar by doing kind of like a quick hammer on. So it's this. There's that flam. Then we're sliding into the House of Blues. Then coming back, little pull-off lick. And then to the landing on that C. Even though we're in major, you know, these bluesy C minor licks are going to sound great. But then we land on the root of the 1 chord. So then on this F minor chord, the 2 chord, also in the A shape, I do this hammer on, where I just, again, holding down the bar and then hammering on the other notes in the chord. And then embellishing with another minor 7th on the 11th fret of the E string. So that's still an F minor 7 chord. That's really it. Then we get to the bridge. Now, if I were going to play this solo guitar, I would go A flat major, you know, here, to G minor there, just to get the full chord as like a acoustic or solo guitar. But again, I went off the album, which goes. Actually, it starts halftime, so it goes. Right, and that's just either the D shape of, right, the D shape of the A flat, of the A flat major chord, which is the 4 chord, to the 3 chord, which is G minor. And then it goes double time. But I added the rest of the chord. And this is the C shape. So if we take a C right here, slide it up instead of C, but to A flat. But again, that's a chord shape you want to know, but I only played it the first time as a full chord to establish the root, and then I just started on the 3rd. That's how I like to play the C shape, is starting on the 3rd. And then this is the D minor shape of a G minor. Great shape. And then if I was playing it in a full band context, I would just play the triad. But I just wanted to thicken it up a little bit. And then the 5 chord, our dominant 7 chord, the 5 chord in the key. If we make it a 7th chord, it's a dominant 7th chord. And it resolves back to our home chord, E flat, but in this case we're not playing the root there, we're playing it here. And then there's just at the very end, he played like a little. Those are just inversions of the E flat major chord, the 1 chord. So this is the C shape, and then this is the E shape, and then back to the A shape, major 7. All right, so next up is What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. So this kind of funky strumming is actually the last workout and the last lesson and unit in my Super Strummer course. We start with the very beginning of strumming technique, and there's all these very simple guided strumming workouts that get progressively more difficult and faster, culminating in funky syncopated strumming similar to this on Use Me. So if you want to kind of take a step back and start from the beginning and the fundamentals, check out the Super Strummer course. I'll link that in the description with a discount code. Now, the reason why I made this video was to go along with Unit 10 in my fretLIVE Fretboard Mastery program, which is on 7th chords. It's a 12-unit course that shows you how music works on the fretboard. We start with the very foundations of music theory, the chromatic scale, the 12 notes we have, thinking of those notes as intervals, using those intervals to create scales and chords, and each step of the way there's a creative challenge and a song learning assignment, so with each unit you could apply what you learned to actually create music and see how it works. Now, even though most of the content is pre-recorded fretLIVE videos, there's quizzes, there's PDFs, and there's weekly live sessions and a private group where you share your assignments with 40 other classmates that are all getting access to the same unit 1 week at a time over 16 weeks. It's 12 units, but there's 3 break weeks just so everyone could kind of catch up, reflect on what they learned before going back at it. So at the time I'm posting this, the next one starts in a couple days on May 17th. If you can't make the live sessions, that's all right. I pre-record them, so you can still take advantage of all aspects of the course, even if the live sessions don't work out with your schedule. But I host one on a weekday evening and one on a weekend morning, just to accommodate different time zones, and you could choose which one works for you. I put a video together with some testimonials and a full kind of tour of everything that's inside the course, and I'll link that in the description as well. All right, everybody, happy playing, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Before I go, I just want to extend a big thank you to all of the POW Music patrons, and a special thank you to the following higher level patrons at patreon.com/POWmusic. Thank you to Alexander Pitterman, Andrew Vogel, Arwin Guzen, Cam Chernachan, Chris Watson, Chris Freeman, Daniel Small, Derek Mickle, Don Stringham, Donald James Grass, Joff Weathermax, Jim McCall, John Hartquist, John Cushman, Joseph McCarthy, Jurgen Schwartz, Newt Olive Wald, Noah Brand, Rich Mason, Ryan Helston, Sean Ellis, and Trampus Thompson. Thank you so much for making these lessons possible. I'll see you guys in the next lesson.